Hey everybody, welcome to Trial and Eric. I am Eric Himan, your host, constantly eating, constantly playing around the country, constantly putting out music and getting myself into more and more trouble. Today I want to say Happy New Year, Happy 2012 to everybody who's watching. It's been a good one so far, and I'm excited to see how this one goes. Hope you guys are doing well also. So today, soup. Making two soups. We are making French onion soup because I think it's super easy and it's fun. It doesn't take that many ingredients to make it really good. And we're also making potato soup, which is the perfect thing for when it gets cool outside. And just some warm potato soup, some onion, a little bit of bacon, awesomeness. And I'm going to talk about my DVD, which comes out, and it's the bonus CD that comes with it, but I'll talk about that more later. I took the liberty of starting a little bit without you because it took me some extra time to pull this little number together. This is my French onion soup. What I put in here was about a quarter of a cup of butter. I kind of took it down a little bit, and 2 yellow onions chopped sideways. And when I say that, I mean cut. We got an onion right here. When you chop it in half, like this, you chop it in half. Instead of cutting it like this and just chopping it, I want you to take it from this side and just slice it so it's really thin and they're kind of like those half circles. So that's what we did, and it's been in here for about 25 minutes, as you can see all this goodness. There's also a bay leaf in there. I put in some thyme, some salt and pepper, about, 2 tablespoons of thyme, some salt, pepper, and this bay leaf, and 1 big clove of garlic. So we got that going in here. And then, easy process, when it comes to this, what we're going to do is add a half a cup of red wine. Any red wine you choose, the drier the better, but we pour that in there, and we're going to let that cook out so it kind of evaporates and burns off a bit of that wine taste. And we got that on medium. So we're going to burn that off. And then we're going to start on the potato soup. Yes. So I got my potatoes. I've been working overtime here, people. So I got my potatoes into little chunks. We got our potatoes. We have chopped up half of an onion and 2 pieces of celery, like washed and chopped up. So I took the liberty of making some bacon earlier, about 3 pieces of bacon, as you can see right here. Bacon, goodness. And the bacon drippings, about 2 tablespoons, I have put into here. You want to be pretty careful with bacon grease because if it gets too hot, it can burn and start a fire. So we are going to put it on super low. Put it on like medium low and let it warm up a bit. Then we're going to dump in our onions and our celery. This way, you're getting the taste of the bacon, and if you choose to sprinkle in some bacon later, which I like to do, you still have that flavor in there. And who doesn't love bacon? Alright, so we got that going, heating up a little bit, and we're going to throw in our onions and our celery. Mix that around. Usually you can use olive oil in place of the bacon grease. We're just going to get it all in there. Not too hot. And then once that kind of becomes a little more together and you can kind of see that the onions are cooked through, then we're going to add our garlic, which I have right here. About 2 cloves of garlic. So we have that going. This smells really good, you guys. It is our French onion. I feel bad. I feel like I need to do this a little more often. So we have that going. And we're cooking it down to get some of the wine to evaporate. Can you use beef broth instead of wine in the French onion? Well, I have to say we're going to add beef broth to it. But it's up to you. You can add a little bit of red wine if you choose. I don't think it's that necessary. It's just that extra flavor that you get from the wine, because we're trying to cook a little bit of it out. But if you're not a fan of red wine or wine at all, I don't think you really need it. I mean, you're still going to taste the beef broth and the onions and everything, so you'll be good. So we got this going, and we're cooking down. In here, we have our onions and our celery, and getting all that bacon grease around it. I know, not the healthiest, but if you want to be healthy, I would choose grapeseed oil. I've been working with that a little bit, and I like it. I think it's pretty good. Alright, so we got that going. As this cooks out, we are going to add flour to this. Yes, we're going to add flour to it. I'm just reading your comments really quick and trying to keep up with you guys. It makes it so much easier when I know people are listening, and I can see you all smiling from here. Bacon grease, says Mike, who I'm going to see in San Francisco this weekend because I'm playing Café de Nord with my band for a big Trevor Project benefit. If you're in San Francisco, check it out. I'm also playing in Tulsa. This is getting all nice and good. I'm also playing in Tulsa at the Hunt Club on Saturday night with my band. In fact, right after this, band practice. Right before this, DVD editing and all that kind of goodness. Alright, so we got this cooking. We got our bacon grease going. You want to hear it simmering. Keeping an eye. We're going to put in our 2 cloves of garlic to get that all in there. If you put it in too soon, I fear that it burns. If you've ever tried that before, garlic too soon into the pan ends up, by the time the onions are done, the garlic is toast. Literally. Garlic toast. So, you kind of want to put that in towards the end so the flavor comes out in the garlic, but it doesn't end up getting too badly burned. Alright, so we have our celery. I'm going to move this over here to show you real quick. We have our celery and our onions and our bacon grease with our garlic. And in a bit, I am going to drain out, real fast in a colander, I'm going to drain out our potatoes. When you cut potatoes, I want you to know when you cut potatoes and you're not going to use them right away, you're supposed to put them in water. Because otherwise you can see they start to turn brown right away. So right before you need them, just drain them out, which we're going to do real quick. And we're back. So here we have our drained potatoes. I'm going to put that in with our celery and our onions and our garlic for our yummy, yummy, yummy potato soup. And I can see that our French onion soup, I'm noticing a lot of the wine has cooked off. And I just want a little more cooked off, kind of give it that nice red flavor, or a nice red look and right wine flavor, so it's not all watery with wine. Where's my late birthday dinner? You asked, Jerry. I don't know. Where are you? You should be here, having some of this, having some soup on a very soon-to-be cold winter, because it's getting cold here in Tulsa, you guys. I even bought a brand new jacket, because that's how, and I don't buy stuff like that often. Alright, in goes our potatoes. Put that in there. And sprinkle of pepper. And then we're going to add our salt, which I have moved over here. Alright, so now we have our salt and our pepper. And we're going to cook our potatoes just a little bit, just so they're nice and good. I have my chicken broth ready, because that's what we're using for this one. Beef broth for our French onion soup. So we got that going. I want to talk to you a little bit about the DVD. I'm pretty known for my music, more so I guess than my cooking. But lately, I don't know. I've had a few musicians that I've contacted to ask to open up for them. And then they turn around and say, I really like your cooking show. So that makes me think the cooking stuff is going pretty well. But the DVD was shot at the Harwelden Mansion here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. and it was a great event. I had a band, my drummer, Namali Brennett, who I made my Supposed Unknown CD with, who is fantastic in her own right. Namali, Namoli, Brennett, Brennet. She's just amazing. I was so fortunate to have her on bass and singing along with the backup stuff. I also had Zach Hutchins on piano, singing backup too, and a 4-piece string quartet. Oh yeah, a 4-piece string quartet, which 4-piece and quartet are the same thing, but it excites me so much that they were there that I have to give them credit twice. But it's the Tulsa Rock Ensemble, and we did Save the Afternoon, we did Lonely No More, we did my song Left Out, just a bunch of stuff, and even some earlier ones. And that's where the other piece of my surprise comes in. It's a live DVD called Under the Ink. And I am so excited about this. So this is the cover of it. Been working on it. Enzo Fiorello did the artwork. And this picture was taken by Andrew Terlizzi, I think his name is. Proof that Facebook is a great way to find pictures. So it was just amazing to have all these people working on this awesome DVD. So with this, will it be on Blu-ray? I wish it would be on Blu-ray. I don't think it's going to happen, but I can definitely do DVD. We're not going VHS or beta on you. Well, along with the DVD, I'm also going to put out a bonus CD for those who buy the DVD. You're going to get a link for a downloadable CD, because only six songs were recorded from that concert, and then I did a special listener request. Part where I played 8 songs that people had asked me to play on Facebook. Heart Clean, Wish You Would, No Urgency, Bartender, songs that didn't end up on in that concert footage. There's that extra footage. But the whole concert, the audio of the Hart Weldon Show was all taped. So now with that audio, I made it a 14-track CD that'll be on iTunes, but if you get the DVD, you get a code, and you get the CD for free. So that should be up soon. I have a pre-order page going up in the next few days. Stay tuned. Find me on www.erichyman.com, www.erichyman.com. I always forget that last name. And we're going to add our chicken broth now to our potato soup. I know, game changer. So you are going to put your chicken broth and fill it up to the top of the potatoes. And I used about 4 small potatoes. So we put chicken broth. I'm using almost this whole box right here, which is 32 ounces. So we got that going. We're going to bring that to a boil and then simmer it. And that shouldn't take long. I'm going to put a lid on so it happens faster. I just have to find the right way. There we go. I feel like that always helps. All right, with our French onion soup, we have cooked out, I'm going to take this off again, we have cooked out a lot, as you can see, of the wine. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out our bay leaf, because we don't need it anymore. I don't think these are edible. Does anybody know that? I don't really think they're edible. But when the recipes that I have worked with, and that I've used it, you use it for its flavor, and then you say, goodbye. So we get rid of that. What we're going to add to this, we're going to turn down the heat, and we're going to add about a tablespoon and a half of flour. And I think that's where it's not like chicken soup where it's so thin. I think the flour kind of thickens it up. So you're going to sprinkle that all over. It's kind of hard when you can't see it, but I'm going to show you again. Again, a tablespoon and a half, and that's going to absorb, as you can see, and that's going to absorb a lot of the butter that we started with, some of the wine. It's going to just make it thicker once we add our beef broth. So we got all of that all mixed up, And we're only at 8:15, people, and we are making soup. I thought this would be pretty easy, and it's just something, you can buy soup so easily in the can. I want the DVD, says Jerry. Just kidding, Emily says, because you want it on beta. It's so easy to just, I guess, go get a can of soup, but there's so much in it that you don't really, I don't know. Buying all that processed, preserved cans of soup is good in a crunch, but if you have the opportunity and time to make something, it's just going to feel better, and you're just going to feel better. All right, so we're cooking out a little bit. We're taking the heat and keeping it pretty medium-low, and we're cooking out, because if you leave flour cooking on stuff, I don't know, it has a weird taste to it. Like, you can taste the flour. So we're going to try to cook it out by keeping it low and stirring it a lot and cook out the taste of the flour that's in here. And there's not much flour, so. All right. So just like a few minutes of doing that. And then we are going to add this whole thing of beef broth, because with our potatoes, we have a lot going on, and then we're going to blend it. So you just need enough to kind of position over the potatoes. But with this, you can kind of, as soupy as you want it, you can just go for it. So we're cooking out that taste, and we're checking this over here to see if it is boiling yet. And we don't have boiling yet, but it's getting there. And once it boils, 10 minutes, and then all you do is blend it up in a blender, which I have right over here. And I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm just going to grab my ladle over here. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then we're going to add heavy cream at the end. You can choose to add milk. Again, your preference. Heavy cream just gives it more of that traditional potato soup look and makes it pretty hearty. All right, more about the DVD. I filmed it with Kelly Kerr, this guy in town who's done music videos for Hanson. He's photographed so many people, like, I think he's even photographed the president. Like, he's just that amazing. And he was the one who videoed it. We did a 3-camera shoot, so there's like shots where the crane goes across, and shots from this side, and then angles. And it just turned out amazing. But in between those clips, like you'll watch Save the Afternoon and You First, and then you'll see this clip where I'm just kind of in this one room all by myself, close up, telling the stories of a lot of these songs. So I'll say, you know, about No Urgency, that Cass, my best friend, and I, sitting in at Penn State, just wanting to write a song, wanting to write something that wasn't about my life, that just seemed very dramatic and very picturesque. So that's kind of how that came about. So we'll cut to that, and then all of a sudden, and I'll play the song, and it'll be very acoustic and intimate. And then we're back at the concert, big crowd, lots of people, lots of energy. The strings are playing. So, I don't know. I've never done a DVD before. It kind of stressed me out a bit. Asked my post-production supervisor, Elvis Ripley, who did the editing. I was stressed. I'm not trying to do a big ad for Swanson right now, but I feel like I kind of am. So I'm going to tilt it like this. But there's nothing against Swanson. I use their stuff more than anything. All right, so we're pouring our whole 32 ounces of beef broth right into our pot. You guys just sit there. I got this. I'm all good. All right. Same thing. We're going to bring this to a boil. Actually, we're not going to boil it. We're just going to bring it to a simmer. And we're going to let it simmer for 10 minutes. And that will bring us to the end of our show. Does anybody have any questions? Has anybody in this room ever tried to make French onion soup before? I'm going to turn the heat up to medium-high and stir that in. Anybody ever tried? Nobody saying nothing? I guess you're not. Oh, here we go. Yes, you've tried it. If you've ever tried to make it, you know that this part is not even the best part. Because we got our onions, we got our butter, we got our beef broth, we got that all going on in here. But that's not the best part, because what you do with French onion soup is you add cheese and bread. Yes, what kind of cheese on top, Mike asks. Well, I mean, usually I've seen it with Swiss, but I like mozzarella. There's a lot of restaurants. There's one, Max and Irma's, in Pittsburgh that I used to go to, and they used to put on mozzarella on theirs. And I really, really like the taste of that with the bread and everything, so my choice is mozzarella. So I have bought some mozzarella slices. We've preheated our oven, as you can see. I'm going to move this over. Preheated our oven to 350, and on a baking sheet, which I'm going to grab right over here. There's one kind of falls out. On a baking sheet, we are going to take our favorite kind of bread. I'm going to take this kind of bread right here. So I got some wheat bread. We're going to take that, and we are going to, I like to put some salt and pepper on it. You don't have to do this, but I like to, just for some extra flavor, so it's not just bread. Alright, so that's almost, there we go, almost at a boil. So that's simmering. So basically what we're doing with the potato soup is we're just, like if you were making mashed potatoes, how you would boil your potatoes. I worked at the Onion Craft, that's the specialty. Yes, mozzarella, yes, provolone, you can use provolone and Asiago as well. Basically when you make mashed potatoes though, you kind of cut everything up, throw it in, and for like 10, maybe 13 minutes, you're just trying to get it soft enough, like mashed potatoes. And the same thing goes for this, but instead of using water, we're using chicken broth and the onions and the celery. Alright, so we're going to have salt and pepper on there. I mean, I like to bring it when it comes to garlic. So I'm bringing my garlic salt. So I'm adding a little bit of garlic salt to each one. And then we are going to put on our cheese. My dad told me not to do this and he's watching. Sorry, Dad, you're not supposed to use your teeth to open stuff. He used to do that when we were kids. He's a dentist. I'm not going to count him or call him out too bad because I love him. But there were times when we were growing up that my dad would, if he couldn't get into something, he would be like, turn around. And then me and my sister would turn around, and I could hear teeth to plastic. So, Dad, turn around. So we got our cheese. We're going to lay it right on here like this, as you can see. So we're going to put our cheese on there. If you really like cheese, go for it. Because it's the best, I think it's one of the best parts of this whole process. This is not a Paula Deen recipe, and judging by all her stuff in the news, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one. But we got our cheese on here. Put a little bit more. Just a few thin slices, and we are going to put it right in to our 350-degree oven. Put that in there for about 5 minutes, and that's until the cheese melts, basically. And then we're going to just take that and put it in to our crock. And I really like these. I think these are really fun. If you get a chance to get some, they're just easy. You can put them in the oven. You have your soup in here, and then you can spread the cheese around on the top. Very good. But this, I learned this from Tyler Florence. It's just an easier way if you just separate the bread with the cheese and just add it on top later. It's just one piece that just makes it easier than spreading it over here and hoping, you know, watching it kind of drip over. Just seems a little easier. So we have our potatoes are boiling, and we're going to let them get all cooked through. I'm getting close to time. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with me. When is the cookbook coming out? Good question, because I just met with a guy in town who does a lot of commercial work, and he suggested doing a cookbook because he takes amazing pictures of food. So maybe in the fall, you will see the very first trial and error cookbook. And for those who buy early, I'm sure I'll do something nice like, I don't know, put a CD out that comes with it about music about food. The onion soup sounds very good. Love onions and cheese. So I'm gonna set it to broil so it happens a little quicker on our cheese. Just keep an eye on it whenever you hit broil. I'm going to answer another question. I want some chicken and noodles. We will do that at some point. I love chicken and noodle soup. Love, 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 love. But that's a little more time consuming. To make chicken broth, I swear, it takes 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So I have to work on that. But what we're going to do now, how about a dinner invite instead of a CD? Ooh, that's good. You know what? Let's talk about that next time. Because I think I might do a giveaway where I come to your house and I cook for you. I tool around enough, so I think I could probably make that happen. So as this is boiling, I'm just going to kind of show you our little process of what we're going to do. I got my blender all ready. I don't want this to be too loud because it's TV, you know. But I'll kind of mimic and show you what we're going to do. Let me get my dishes out of the way. This is the first time I've cooked in a long time where I haven't had a ton of kitchen dishes. My other half is going to be very, very excited because too many dishes equals no good. So we got our soup cooking. It's looking really good because of our thyme. Now our thyme is floating around in there. I'm going to end up spooning some in here, and then we're going to put our bread, our crouton basically, with our cheese right on top of it. So that's going to look really good. Last piece of this is just blending this and getting, hold on one second, I'm going to get some heavy cream. Did that sound very Paula Deen? I'm going to go get some heavy cream. You're going to probably use half of this because you don't really need a lot. Again, depending on your taste, I don't really need a lot of heavy cream in order to get the job done. You need a lovely assistant. I'd love a lovely assistant. I would love a lovely assistant. Please come to Shreveport, Louisiana. You know, I will be in Monroe, Louisiana on March 29th at Club Pink. Come and check me out. I don't know how far away is that from you? I'm waiting. Because if it's not too far, you can come on down to Monroe and we can party. I don't know if I'll be having food there, but I definitely will be playing and singing my butt off. So, as this is going, I think we're good. Checking on our cheese. That's melting. We got this going. All right, just to wrap this up, I'm going to take an extra little 5 minutes, if you all don't mind, to showcase this. We are going to make sure that our potatoes are getting cooked through. So that means I just need a fork. It's the best way to test. If you put a fork through and it goes through pretty easily, like that, then that means they're done. So we're going to turn this heat off. I'm going to get my ladle, which I have placed over here. And we are going to put this right into our blender. Just grab half of it. Don't ever try to put the whole thing in here. Believe me, because if it's too full, you're not blending anything. Alright, so we want to get just as much liquid as we do potatoes. So I'm going to scoop some of that in there. All steaming hot. Smells delicious. So glad we cooked those onions and celery and bacon grease. Yes, yummy. You should improv a song about soup. Good idea. Soup, soup, I like soup. That's all I got right now, but I'm really going to work on that. I promise, Dean, I'm going to work on that. So we got half of it about right in here. So we're just going to place it on here. I got my cover. We're all good. We're just going to kind of blend it up. Hold your ears. Oh, you don't have to, because it's not that loud. Awesome. And typically what you'll do, because we're running out of time, typically what you'll do is you'll pour this back into the pot once it's all done, and then you add your heavy cream and any extra seasoning. But for time's sake, we are going to pour it into here. We have our nice potato soup. I'm going to add just a bit, about probably 2 tablespoons of our heavy cream. You should come by Iowa. Maybe I can finally see you. I'm trying to get to play Des Moines, Iowa in April and go up to Chicago. So keep me informed. Me and my band, we're playing Lucky's Live in Manhattan, Kansas on March 2nd. So we're getting closer. I'm trying to bring my band up there because they rock. All right, so we got about 2 tablespoons right there. And using a spoon over here, I'm going to stir it together, and you're going to notice, as we're looking, I'll make this down. You're going to notice it kind of starts to get that color. You can add chives to this. I don't know. I like mine pretty plain. I don't need so much onion because we got the onion going on in there. But I do have my bacon. Yes, lots of bacon. So we're going to put that just on the top, just sprinkled on the top like this. Put as much bacon on as you want. I'm not going to lie, I like bacon. And here's our potato soup. So we got one down. And our cheese is done. Let me get this real quick. I'm going to turn off our broiler. Pull this out. Push this back. Nice and easy. Very hot. Like this. Over here. Alright, so we have our bread is done. I like to take a knife and kind of cut into it and place it right on top. So we are going to take, let me get my other ladle right over here. We're going to take our French onion soup, as you can see here, and pour it in, I'd say as close to the top as possible, because you want that crouton to absorb the French onion. The onion with the beef broth, all that goodness. It smells delicious. You're going to want that all to kind of seep in with the bread. And although it's hot, again, we're working on a time crunch. This over here. We'll kind of move it over. Right here, I'll show you. We are going to take our bread, kind of peel it off. This, I'm going to use my cutting board over here. I'm going to take it off here, as I'm showing you. Thanks for sticking around, you guys. I am almost done. So we got the new DVD, Under the Ink, coming out. I'll be posting the pre-order stuff very soon, probably at the end of this week. And, yeah, it's going to be exciting with the bonus CD. So just take your piece and put it right on top. Get it right in there, absorbing it, and just going to put a little bit of extra in here because you want to get that bread in there all nice and good. And that's how you make French toast. French toast. Nope, that's how you make French onion soup. So we got our French onion. I'm going to move that again. We got our French onion, and we got our potato soup. I'm going to showcase these a little bit better on the edge right here. Thanks so much for stopping by and checking it out. I hope you guys try this. Let me know. I'd love to know how it all turned out. So take the time to enjoy the view. That shows you what I watched lately. We got all that going. Thank you again for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you try the food, and I hope you get the DVD coming out real soon. And I hope to see you all live because I'm touring a lot. So check www.erichyman.com for all the tour dates because I'm going all around the country with this DVD. All right, be good, you guys, and talk soon. See you in February with a special surprise guest. I said that earlier to the few that showed up early. Special surprise guest who you might know from TV. So check it out and have a great week.